Readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears.
And a huge thank you to all of our Patreons. Thank you to the Pit Fighters, the First Swords, and all of the Bright Stars, Truth and Courage.
Hello, welcome to the channel. I am Ed, this is my wonderful lady, Sadie, and together, today, we're going to be talking to you about what books we read in the month of May. So May was a very big month for us, mainly for Sadie, because Sadie is now officially an author, and you can find her book, 28 Days to Bloom, on Amazon. Go check it out. There is a link in the description below. Sade absolutely hates the fact that I'm actually showing this to everyone right now, but you have to be proud. I'm very proud. You need to be proud of your achievements. But do you want to tell us a little bit about 28 Days to Bloom?
So 28 Days to Bloom is the recipe book for self-love and personal growth. I created this a few years ago now as an online guide and finally got it printed. So it's available on Amazon. I designed it.
It's a beautiful journal. I mean, I've done it in the past and absolutely loved it. It's really helped me with kind of, the mental health side of things and helped me find a new positive attitude, especially during the last few years, which is, we all know has been pretty tough. But no, it's amazing, and I'll be reading this next month and just going over it again. It's something you can kind of recycle, and there's lots of tips and tricks here and practical things that you can do that really, really help.
Yeah, so I designed it as a 28-day guide so you can follow along every day, or that's why it's a recipe book as well, so that you can go back to different exercises and carry them on.
Yeah, but there we go,
Yeah.
28 Days to Bloom. I need to get you to sign it actually for me. Maybe you draw a little picture in there.
Okay.
There is an iris on the front cover.
Yeah, of course.
That's not our
Of
daughter,
course.
that's just the flower.
Yeah.
Just anyway. But anyway, we
Thank
also did
you.
lots and lots of reading during May, and the first one that I will show everyone is something I was so excited to read, and it is an arc for Dark Frontier by Matthew Harvey. For those of you that don't know, Matthew Harvey is someone who writes fantastic Dark Ages historical fiction set in Britain. He follows Saxons and whatnot, and also he has some later books set in the Viking Age. I believe there are some books set around Lindisfarne, which you all know was a terrible day for monks, but a great day for the Norse and the Danes. And anyway, so Dark Frontier is Matthew Harvey's first kind of foray into a Western. As a viewer of our channel, very lucky, he contacted me asking if I'd like to read this beforehand and give him my thoughts, and I absolutely love this. As you guys know, I love a Western. We love a Western. We love Yellowstone. We love anything with Kevin Costner, really. And this book felt like Kevin Costner should be in it, really. It's kind of like a Western meets a thriller. We have Matthew Harvey, who is a British author. He is writing from the perspective of someone who is in the London Metropolitan Police, someone named Gabriel. And he moves from England all the way over to America, and he finds himself up in Oregon, where he is trying to meet someone who he used to know in his past life. And from there on, there is a murder. There are some kind of homesteaders versus some new people on the block, some established businessmen, which is kind of a Western cliche. Look at the film and the one in the book, Shane, for example. But, a cliche, a trope is not a bad word at all. When it's used effectively, it's one of my favourite things to read. And you can't have a Western without some of these familiar tropes. The book has a fantastic climax, it's got some great characters, and by the end you are completely gripped. You love the main character Gabriel and the relationships he makes on the way, and it is a Western with a lot of heart. So I definitely really recommend this. Go check out this if you want kind of thriller vibes meets Western, meets Matthew Harvey's fantastic writing. A good way to start the month.
Yeah.
What about you?
My first book was The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. I have read The Bear and the Nightingale, I think I've said before, by Catherine Arden, which was...
Very chilly book.
That's how you describe it every time.
It's a cold book.
It's a bit more than that.
I think it's pretty cold.
Wow, it was one of my favourite books from last year.
What's great though is that she's gone from cold to warm. Did you like that? Come on.
Oh, I just got it.
I had to get one dad joke in there.
Yeah, sorry.
Per minute.
To that one. Yeah. So this is very different to The Bear and the Nightingale. And
No bears?
No,
No
there's-
nightingales?
No.
No snow?
No. I don't think there is. No. So it follows a Canadian nurse who has received her brother's belongings from the war. So she assumes he's dead or missing, and she goes to look for him. So it's also got the point of view of the brother, Freddie, and I think the time difference is about 2 months when you start reading it. Obviously, it's historical fiction with a touch of fantasy in there as well, and it does cover a lot about the trauma of war, and I like that the heroine is a woman. And it kind of shows as well like the difference between going from Victorian very proper woman to obviously a nurse in the First World War. So I thought that was brilliant. Very sad, but I thought it was a brilliant book.
Very nice. And is that made you want to go read more Catherine Arden, read the rest of the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy?
Definitely.
Nice.
It is very different to The Bear and the Nightingale, but I did enjoy the historical period. And the kind of the touch on ghosts and whether it's
Sounds scary.
really ghosts there or whether it's actually their imagination.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Very nice. And the next one for me was a book that is probably responsible for why I, in my opinion, didn't do too much reading in May, because this book took me, it felt like 15 years. Not in a bad way. It just took me a while to get into. Everyone on the Discord was really telling me off because I took ages. But it was Hyperion by Dan Simmons. You can see this is a very well-loved copy. I love the cover. Lovely colours. But yeah, this is a sci-fi that I've wanted to get under my belt for a very, very long time. And Hyperion, it was a book, it was going to be our read-along book for the Gwyn brothers, the brothers Gwyn. Not that William read it, because he's a slacker. Don't tell him I said that. If you're watching, Will, love you, miss you. But yeah, so Hyperion was a book that we all read together on the Discord channel, and particularly under the guidance of Faye from Books and Chocoholic. So thank you, go check out her channel, link in the description below. But she was very much helping me along with this and also encouraging me through threats to get down to reading this. And it was pretty insane. It was completely different to what I honestly expected from this. I was thinking it was going to be like this kind of philosophical war, as a little bit like R. Scott Baker meets Red Rising, perhaps. That was what I expected. I have no idea why that was my expectations. Maybe because it's a really spiky bloke on the front cover. Looks kind of ominous. But this book is told from the perspective of a group of people travelling to the planet of Hyperion, and each of them have a short story about how their lives are bringing them back to this mysterious and quite brutal planet in the wake of this beast, the Shrike, this godlike figure that is kind of reawakening. And it is a great book. Dan Simmons sure can write. There are, through the telling of it through short stories, a little bit like A Canterbury Tales, you are able to see all these different parts of the world and all these different parts of characters. The world building here is magnificent. It's a pretty intense read. The chapters are hella long, which for me, I'm like, oh no, long chapters really scare me. But you got it. That's probably why I didn't start it for so long, because I saw someone said just got to page 112. Chapter 1's done, and I was like, oh, really?
That is a long chapter.
Why did I choose this? But it was a great read. I gave it 4 stars because I wasn't in love with it, but I really, really enjoyed it. I got a lot out of it, and I think I will be reading the next one because I need to find out what happens with the scholar. The scholar's tale will break you, and if it doesn't, you are a cold, heartless person. But on that note, what else did you read?
I also read
Hyperion.
No, it did sound like I was about to say that, didn't
It did.
I read The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, and it is about a patient who is silent.
And he's spat out my water. Really?
Yes,
what a surprise.
It's about a woman who has shot her husband, and why looked at you like that?
Yeah, that was a bit scary.
Sorry.
I hope it didn't give you ideas. Great. If I never see you guys again,
No, I'm
then it's been a
joking.
great ride.
Where was I? A woman
Shooting
who
the husband.
shot her husband, and she has not spoken since it happened. So this is, I think it's
She's
6
still
years.
angry at him.
She's still angry. Yeah,
Are
so
you
she's not
kidding?
talking to him.
Else he didn't put up the toilet seat, did he? Put down. What way around is it?
Put down.
Put down.
I got an itchy nose.
Oh no.
Ugh.
I hope he doesn't put it down. You know, terrible
Wait,
toilet seat.
A woman hasn't spoken since she shot her husband, and it is it follows a psychotherapist. I think you call him psychotherapist.
Yeah.
It follows a psychotherapist who actually moves hospitals and thinks or believes he can get her to speak. So that's it.
Great. Did you enjoy it?
No, so he is obviously a psychotherapist, but also he does a bit of like detective work as well, and maybe like pushes the boundaries a little bit with how he figures
Good cop, bad cop.
things out.
Bad cop, bad cop. Goes over the line.
Wow, yeah.
He crosses the line.
I'd say he crosses
The
the
police
line.
tape, he's crossed it.
But I was hooked from the beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
there is a twist in there, and it's brilliant.
There was a lot of gasping when you were
Yeah.
reading this one. A lot of gasping.
Yeah, I did want to talk about it
Yeah.
when I was reading it.
But it's called The
Can tell
Silent
you
Patient.
everything.
You can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it. So yeah, I thought this was a brilliant book.
Do you think it'd be good as like a program or a film? Do you know if there's any adaptations?
I don't know
around?
actually. I'm not sure.
Adaptations.
But yeah, if you like a thriller, definitely read this.
I don't know. And the thing is, when I watch a good one, I'm like obsessed. You know, like True Detective, Happy Valley.
Yeah.
Obsessed with them. But I wouldn't watch them all.
About
you know?
films, thriller, you don't really.
I would watch them. Like, obviously, like, you have the classics, don't you? Like Silence of the Lambs, whatnot, Red Dragon.
Yeah, no, they're awful. Aren't they?
They're good.
I mean, they're good films.
I
but
do
they're
like,
awful.
yeah, they're awfully good.
I don't know. That's a bit.
So, but
that's
I would
not my
rewatch
kind
them.
Of thing.
What is your kind of thing?
Do you know what? I used to love Poirot.
Ah, okay.
I know it's not a thriller.
Have you seen
is
the
it?
new
It's like
ones?
crime.
It's
Detective.
yeah. See, well, actually, Midsummer Murders did.
Ah,
slap.
Midsummer Murders was
Midsummer Murders
brilliant.
was so good.
I used to
yeah.
watch that as a kid.
But I used to, you know, I was terrified.
Yeah, and
There
the
was some-
music. The
Oh,
music
the-
was
yeah,
always,
the
like,
music.
chilling.
Someone's cycling down a lane and then all of a sudden they get whacked.
Yeah. Well,
in,
isn't it like? I mean, I wouldn't move
in
there.
Somerset. I
Would
wouldn't
you?
move. No,
Around that area.
no.
Vera.
Murders. No, I don't
I
like
love
Vera.
Vera.
Don't like her voice.
But I like the old ones. Luther. Did you watch Luther?
Never seen it.
What?
The woman looks strange. I don't judge programs, but I don't just say I'm not watching that because I don't like her voice.
That one character.
But actually, Vera does have an annoying
Silent
voice,
Witness.
doesn't she? Silent Witness is good.
Yeah.
There was one episode I'll always remember. Two. Let's move on.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe thrillers are okay. I probably wouldn't
Are they
read
thrillers
one.
though? Do they count as thrillers? All the stuff that I've just listed.
They're
Are they
all-
more like
Crime,
detective,
drama, aren't they? I guess?
drama? Yeah.
Yeah. What turns something from thriller to?
Thriller's more like.
Well, it's
would you say like
thrilling.
the twist, isn't it? The suspense.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
crime has
having
a twist sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We'll have to do some research.
Yeah.
The next one for me was I was kind of in a medieval mood. I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance with the upcoming release of the next one, and I thought, you know, what better to do than when I'm in a medieval mood than to read The Ill-Made Knight by Christian Cameron. Obviously, this is the pinnacle. I'm turning into Will, aren't I? It always
me
does
out.
that. Yeah, this is like the pinnacle of historical fiction, especially in the medieval period. We follow it's a coming of age story really of this boy called William Gold, and he somehow ends up from the streets of London onto a ship in the English army as they are heading over to invade France during the 100 Years' War. And he ends up at the Battle of Poitiers in 1356, and from there on he is chronicling his tale as he grows up in France in this area of war and carnage, and he's trying to make a name for himself. He wants to become a knight. I love a first book in this series. I think I'm very impressionable when it comes to first books, seeing that world for the first time, and a coming of age story about a boy wanting to become a knight in this gritty world where they talk about the velvet clothes as much as they talk about the swords. It's got me written all over it. But yeah, it's a great series.
Nice.
What did you read next?
What did I read next? I actually listened to my next book. It was Homecoming by Kate Morton. And
It's the Claire Foy one.
The Claire Foy one. So I have to admit that I don't usually enjoy audiobooks as much as reading. But Claire Foy narrating was perfect.
Nice.
I think for Homecoming. So it follows 2 timelines in Australia. One is, I think, 1959, and there's been someone discovers a tragic crime scene, I guess. And later on is the current day, where it follows a woman called Jess who has found out that her nan is unwell, so she travels back to Australia. And there she discovers how this crime is connected to her family. So it's full of like family secrets and discoveries about motherhood,
Skeletons
tragedy.
in the closet.
Yes. But it was a very easy read. I really enjoyed it, and I'll definitely be reading more Kate Morton.
Or listening.
Or listening. And if Claire Foy does any other narrating, I'll listen to them as well. Because it was so good.
Wonder if she would narrate 28 Days to Bloom.
Maybe.
Lovely. Is that you wrapped up there?
I think so.
Cool. The next one for me was George R. R. Martin's A Storm of Swords. This book's only got probably 25 ratings on Goodreads. So I think you guys should go out and read it. I think it's going to be big. But A Storm of Swords is pretty good. Let's admit that. It's pretty good. I've got to say I preferred A Clash of Kings more. I mean, I'm falling into the William camp. I can't believe what's happening to me. I'm starting to agree with this young man more and more as he gets older and I get older. But anyway, A Storm of Swords I thought was a brilliant, another brilliant entry into A Song of Ice and Fire. It is a hefty book, but it should have been cut in half. And I know it is cut in half where you have the two editions which follow these characters and then that one follows those characters. But it should have really been trimmed. I think it should have ended, well, we all know the season 3 ends with the Red Wedding. Finish it there, because then it feels like it rushes onto the next section with Prince Oberyn. I know I'm going into slight spoilers, but who hasn't seen or read it by this time? It's been donkey's years. So come on, guys, it's been dragon's years. Let's get on with it. But I feel like, again, like I said, it could have been trimmed or just chopped in half. And I think the way that it dealt with the tension, it wasn't rushed because it's a huge book. There's no rushing in it. But it felt like it could have been a little bit more effective for me. And this is maybe it's just a me thing because I love the series. But maybe not. I definitely enjoyed the kind of intricacies of the A Clash of Kings plot with Tyrion. But yeah, I think A Storm of Swords was great for me, but definitely not my favourite of the 3 so far. But still wicked.
Is it 3?
3.
Wow.
I know. And they feel like 8. But it still only counts as 3. It still only counts as 3. That's my Gimli impression.
Oh,
by the way.
right, sorry.
Yeah, you
That's
just thought I was
brilliant.
being.
Yeah, no.
Who do you think I was being?
I don't know. You.
Great. Okay, next one, darling.
Okay.
Thanks for helping me.
So my next book that I read in... Where are we?
Very ominous tone.
Sorry. The next book I read in June.
Not
in June.
Was in May.
The next book I read in May was Good Material by Dolly Alderton. And this follows a 30-something male who is going... man.
Caucasian.
He's a man who's going through a breakup. And I started this book thinking, oh no, I'm going to be sad the whole way through and feel sorry for him.
But luckily you were happy?
No, not happy.
Oh, okay.
I will be really honest now and say by the end of it, I wasn't his biggest fan.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's...
Is he the only POV?
No, at the end you get the ex-girlfriend's POV, which was good. So...
So...
Yeah, you get both sides of the story, really.
Two sides of the coin.
Yes. And there were some really laugh out loud moments.
Yeah, the last book had gasps, and this book had a lot of...
Yes.
Lolling.
So it was,
lolling.
it was good.
Ruffling.
Yeah, he's also trying to be a stand-up comedian. So
like
it's
Baby
got to
Reindeer.
be funny, hasn't it? Yeah, I know. It's a bit weird reading this after watching that.
We should talk about Baby Reindeer another time.
Yeah. So it did give me that. Maybe I was a bit, I don't know.
Freaked out.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yes, I thought laugh out loud moments. There's also pull on your heartstring moments as well, especially at the beginning. I did like that there was both sides. I didn't actually know we were going to get that till right at the end. And then I saw it and thought, yeah. So, yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Lovely. The next one for me was another fantasy giant. I've really been loving fantasy lately, and it was Jade City by Fonda Lee. Boy, this was good. It's one of those books where you think, when you read it or when you've opened the first couple of chapters, you think, why the hell have I not read this before? Jade City's been on my list for such a long time, but this, it dives into it straight away. It's so quick, it's so fast paced. The characters are really intriguing. It does have a kind of, Godfather feel to it, but it's essentially gangsters, but set with the backdrop of a Hong Kong drama. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant. There is this kind of sprawling metropolis that these characters inhabit, and the world building is fantastic. I thought it was a really sharp read. Like I said, it moved the plot really quickly. You got these POVs that are all in the same family, and then you've got one POV who's out of the family. And you've got all kind of these layers of this system, this world. And I thought it was brilliant. I thought the plot was great. I really enjoyed the character work. There were some twists here. Some characters, bite the bullet, literally. And, at shocking points in the book as well. And there was a lot to keep me motivated to, get through. I really liked Fonda Lee's effective prose. Very simple, very to the point, very efficient. But not lacking in anything. I feel like it, the focus was on the depth of character, the focus was on the action, and it has a great balance. So, yeah, Jade City, it has this urban fantasy feel to it, which I saw maybe a lot of people on Goodreads were saying that they weren't really in the mood for. But I mean, it doesn't feel like an urban fantasy until you kind of see this technology that comes into play. So, yeah, Jade City though was great, and I'm looking forward to reading a lot more Fonda Lee.
Nice.
Wonder what I think back on it fondly. Sorry.
You don't have to apologise, darling.
You look like you're going to tell me off.
I never tell you
off. It's because
off.
I'm used to being next to Will, and he's, the camera cuts, and William's like,
oh, no.
Why did you say that?
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Oh, well, it happens. Did you have another book you listened to?
No.
Oh, last one for you.
Homecoming was quite a long book, really.
Shall I do one more?
Them.
You don't rush them. Shall I do one more?
You're a slow
and then you can do that one.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
You guys want to tune in for Sade's last read of the month. It's a big one. The next one for me was I listened to The Sword of Kaigen. This is a reread for me. If you guys know me, you know that I love Sword of Kaigen. It's a fantasy book that is, again, inspired by Asian heritage, Asian culture. This one was inspired by Japan. And you have these characters living on an island that is essentially stuck in the samurai age, really. And then you have the rest of the continent or the country has this more technologically advanced kind of side to them. But these people in this village are harking back to the old times. And you have two characters here, a mother and a son. The son is someone in a school who wants to become a warrior like his father. A warrior. And
a warrior or a warrior?
I can't say a warrior.
Not a warrior.
A warrior.
I don't want to be a warrior.
A warrior. And the mother is a woman with a past. And I love the way that she is written. Her name's Masaki. You've probably heard of her. But she's a great character. I love the way that she's written, the way that she interacts with her family, the way that these kind of how culture can sometimes hold her back a little bit and put these unrealistic expectations onto her, making her become someone who she's not. And I really like how that comes into play with her being a mother figure as well. She has a very difficult relationship with her husband, and it adds a completely different dynamic to the family. Now, ML Wang makes some really bold decisions, and I'm here for it. I feel like I'm really glad it's a self-published fantasy book, because I feel like if it wasn't self-published, then maybe someone would have tried to change a lot of key points about it. Key points that make the book really, really strong, in my opinion. I think the start is the weakest bit. So get through the start, get through the first 50 or 60 pages, and then the ball will start rolling and you'll absolutely love it. But yeah, Sword of Kaigen, one of my faves. One of my faves.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Over to you.
With my 5 words.
I just ramble. I'm a great waffler.
I love this book.
Aren't I good at waffling?
It's kind of like this.
I'm a good waffler.
You are. You are very
Cheers to
good.
being a waffler. A waffler.
A waffler. A waffler.
I'm a teacher. I obviously love the sound of my own voice. No, darling, you don't just. Okay,
No.
right.
I like
Right,
you
over
talking.
to you.
I like
I will
listening
stop
to you.
stealing your thunder
I love
now.
listening to you.
Evidently.
Yeah, I do. So the last book I read in May was
Was
The
something
People's-
that. Yeah, sorry. You go.
The People's Choice, The Vote, The Big Vote.
Mm-hmm.
It was Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb.
You're a Robin Hobb stan now, aren't you?
Stan.
Like a fan. I don't know what.
fan.
Is that what stan?
No.
No, because stan. What does stan stand for? I don't know, but people just say I'm a Hobb stan.
Really?
You know? Maybe
Should I know?
their name was Stanley, and I just got confused.
Okay. Well, I am a super fan.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you're a
I mean, look at this.
fan.
Look at the book, though.
Who did that?
So we took it. Was it Iris?
Yeah, it was Iris.
Oh yeah, it was
Iris beat.
So
that book.
I actually took this to Durham, and on our travels.
Well, we went
and
to
it's been
visit Will.
Beaten.
Yeah, and on the train, Iris got hold of Assassin's Apprentice. She
Yeah.
obviously doesn't like Fitz at all, or maybe she doesn't like Regal. Who knows? But yes.
So Robin Hobb is another author. Author?
Wow.
Oh no!
Sadie, your roots are coming out.
Robin Hobb is another
On
author.
air, Robin Hobb. And then the
another
camera
author.
goes off and says, I bloody love that book, you know?
She is another author who likes to torture us with loving animals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know another author like that.
Yeah. I know one guy. He's
But
really
they do write
nasty.
good books, don't they?
Yeah. Well, that's all you need, really, isn't it? You
Yeah.
need an animal you like, and then whatever else happens doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, it's
what
not
did you
torture,
like?
really,
What did you like
is
about
it?
Assassin's
It's-
Apprentice?
I loved the characters. I think the character building in this is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of could see how some people might say that it's a bit of a slow burner,
Mm-hmm.
but
I think
character building-
purposefully.
yeah, the
Slow.
character building makes up for that anyway.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that it's a bad thing.
No.
You know?
Lots
It's
of
just
yeah. I think it depends what you're in the mood for, doesn't it? And if you're in the mood for like a really action heavy,
yeah.
fast plot, I don't think Assassin's Apprentice is right. But
But if you're there for the characters and
the
the animals,
relationships and the animals.
we've I already want to name our future animals after characters in this book. So
Yes. Yeah.
that's how much I love
But
it.
I say I'm not calling a horse Verity.
Why?
I just don't want to call a horse Verity. Thank you very much.
Ferret.
This is my horse.
Ferret. The horse.
Verret.
But yeah, there was something else I was going to say. I can't remember.
Obviously, you like Fitz.
Yeah, I have so many favourite characters.
But so when Sade was reading Silent Patient, she was like, and when she's reading Good Material, she's like,
Is that how I laugh?
and then when she was reading Assassin's Apprentice, she's like,
I
The
do
whole
love
time.
reading a book that you've read.
me
Because
too.
you wait for it, don't you?
Yeah.
You sit there and
What
wait
chapter
for
are you on?
yeah.
What one are you on?
Or you look over at the page and you're like,
Yeah. Oh, you're at that
oh,
bit.
it was so
Oh,
good.
I say.
So I'm looking forward to reading the next
So-
one. So thank you everyone for voting for this because I very much
It was
enjoyed
close
it.
between that and the other book, Atalanta, wasn't
Yeah, I'm
it?
still going to read that, but I think I'm going to wait for holiday for that one. But yeah,
I got
loved
to.
it.
I'm disappointed myself that the people's vote was for the Gates of Athens. I've read it now, but because May was a lot of books, I read it in June. I started it at the end of May. I took it to Durham with us, didn't I?
Yeah, it's very honest of you, you know.
Thank you. But I finished it in June. And I read most of it in June. I read only a tiny bit in May because William just had us being too busy in Durham, running around here, running around there.
I think having that
running around
week, yeah, we did.
And there were 2 Waterstones in Durham.
Yeah.
2. And we didn't have any room in our suitcases, so we had to take all of the books to the counter. And I said very politely, "Please, can you order these to where we live?"
And why did you get them to order it? Why didn't we order it online?
Because I like to go in and pick them up myself.
It's so true though, isn't
I
it?
hate ordering anything
I don't like
online.
getting books online now.
Anything, and there's something about walking into Waterstones.
Yeah,
Although we
we
know
just
our
love it,
local
don't
Waterstones
we?
now so well that
They know us.
They know.
They definitely
worryingly,
know us now.
They do. It's like when they just know us really well.
Yeah. They know what we're reading.
Well, it's like when
They
you
do.
walk.
Don't they,
It's
sometimes?
imagine like we walk into McDonald's and they know your order. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like, isn't it? But it's a good thing.
It's like
but
our
obviously-
local.
Yeah.
It's our local.
It's our local pub, the Waterstones. Right, the next one for me was Stoner by John Williams. Everyone and their dog says that this is one of the best books they've ever read, and I have to agree. It's absolutely fantastic. It is kind of this like mundane existence from this character who is extraordinarily average in all areas, except for his love of learning. And just seeing this man's life play out through the words of John Williams, mesmerising. How could he make a book so mundane? So exciting. I don't know, but John Williams is a great writer. I love his book, Butcher's Crossing. He writes with this panache that is always exciting, exhilarating, incredibly immersive, and full of feeling. There is so much feeling in these pages, in these words, and Stoner is a book that I just absolutely love. Whether it's from the being a teacher, as is this character, or just the love of the language and the landscape that John Williams created. Stoner is another thing to add to my favourites. I've really, really enjoyed it. So thank you everyone for recommending it to me. And the last one for me was one of my favourite writers of all time, Cormac McCarthy's Outer Dark. Now, I said in my Goodreads review that Outer Dark is essentially Cormac McCarthy practicing for his writing of Anton Chigurh, The Judge, and the apocalyptic world of The Road. Here we have a brother and a sister who have had they're in the, I think, Appalachian Mountains, I think that's how you say it. And I think it's set in maybe the 30s or the 40s or maybe even the 50s, can't quite remember now. But, it's this Southern Gothic American Midwest feeling to it. And Outer Dark is about a brother and a sister in the wilderness have had a child together. And the brother goes out to bury the child and leave it to the wilderness. But the sister, the mother of the child, wants to go and find it, really. And then the man goes on his own kind of, his own journey. And it is just exploring these two characters as they deal with their lives, deal with these events. And you have this mysterious trio who are following them. And it is incredibly dark, incredibly brutal, it's mesmerising, and it is very harrowing. It's probably one of the darkest Cormac McCarthy books I've read. And it, like I said, it felt like he was practicing for his magnum opuses. He has multiple that he wrote later in life. And Outer Dark was just a fantastic read. I think I'm looking forward to doing my Cormac McCarthy ranking to see where they all kind of pile up with each other. But it's a book that I immediately saw, not the light because it's very dark, but there's a clue in the title, but I saw the gleams, of the gem through the rocks, as it were, through the dust, and straight away. And usually it takes me maybe 2 or 3 reads of a Cormac McCarthy book to fully appreciate it, but I definitely felt like I got to grips with it very quickly. But yeah, it's a great book. I think I've just got 2 more of his to read now, and then I'm done.
Really?
Which is sad, scary. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really like The Passenger, which was his latest one. And the next book that kind of came with it is Stella Maris, which is like a companion novel. It's like a short, or not quite a short story, but like a novella, probably.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll enjoy that. And his first book is meant to be his least popular, his least acclaimed,
Okay.
called The Orchard Keeper. So I'm not sure, but
Do you feel like you're kind of putting it off as well because you don't?
I don't want the journey to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I kind of do, so then I can say to William, I've read more Cormac McCarthy
That's
than you. Yeah, he did introduce me to Cormac McCarthy. Not that I've met him, but he showed me Blood Meridian, so I do have to thank him for that, and his teacher who told him to go and read it. But that is our May wrap up.
Yeah.
What an exciting list of books we read.
Yeah.
You are an author, so if anyone wants to say to do a signing, let me know. I'm her agent and editor, so
Very good agent, aren't you?
thank you. But yeah, no, thank you for watching, everyone. Let us know in the comments below what book was your book of the month for May. Do you have a book of the month? Very quickly. Probably AA, isn't it?
Yeah, Assassin's Apprentice.
Assassin's Apprentice. I think I would have to choose.
Oh.
I'd have to choose. I think Dark Frontier for me. I think Dark Frontier. Dark Frontier, well up there for me. I won't count the rereads. Dark Frontier, Western historical fiction. Go read it. Thank you for watching, everyone. We've loved it. You enjoyed it?
I've loved it.
Loved it. Cool.
Loved
But thank you for sticking with us. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to see and chat with you there. Truth and courage. Stay safe. The couple Gwyn. Readers.
Reviewers.
Countrymen.
Lend us your ears.